All right, let's see. Good morning, everyone. Today is just questions, whatever anybody's working on. We have, some producers on here. We have our regulars, but I was like, you know what? Let's just answer questions. Like sometimes we guide it, and it's just for people to ask questions. If you're new, don't worry about if the question sounds dumb or not, or it's entry level. This is where even us veterans, sometimes we teach something that it's entry level, but some veteran might have done it, some veteran hasn't done it. So ask over your questions. Let me see if on my phone I can see it better. Just unmute yourself, raise your hand, and we'll call everybody out. Sean, what are you working on this week? What are you taking over this week?
Hey, George. So you know what? I'm glad you called on me, man. I wanted to kind of jump in here real quick, man, because I know on the call we had on Friday, we want to talk about a little bit about new construction. And I know the guys in Orlando's got some new construction and some over Florida and Jersey. But I didn't really talk about like how these guys can make an impact themselves by going and, kind of becoming a preferred real estate agent at some of these construction sites. So some of the things that I do, guys that are out there listening that have new construction in your area, I always stop by the model home like every week. Like if I'm in the area, I stop by, I'll take the guys coffee, just kind of find out what they like, build rapport with them, so that if they do have homes coming on, I'm the first person they think about. If they've got something, that fell out of contract, right? They'll call me, get on the list, but they will start inviting you to come to their communities and shooting video. Like they will want you to come in and shoot video once they start, seeing your face. We've got this thing in North Carolina called procuring calls, right? You probably have it down there too.
Same here, but they don't have that in Jersey. That's crazy. They have it here.
Really?
They don't have it in Jersey. You could go in there, you could show up, you could show the house the same day, and I just say, you know what? I'm sending in the contract. There's nothing you could do. If you don't have a buyer's agreement, that there's not even a case. In Florida, I'm 5-0. I haven't lost a procuring cost case. But in Jersey, they don't have it. It's crazy.
Wow, that's crazy. So we have it here too. But here's the thing though, if you get in really good with those agents on site, they will not stop you from talking to people that come in or walking in by themselves without an agent. As a matter of fact, I have them call me now and say, hey, listen, I've got somebody in here that doesn't have an agent. Like, do you want to put your name on the contract? Like, so they'll start doing stuff like that for you too. You just got to show up on those sites and start making yourself a regular around the community. They'll get to know your face. Then they will start to know you, like you, trust you, and maybe start sending you some business too. So I just wanted to share that as well.
Thank you, Sean.
You're very welcome.
I couldn't hit unmute. It's on the mobile. Nobody on my desk is not easy. Yeah, we have a guest today from South Carolina. Sir Ashley, what's up? We have another YouTube star on here. Good morning.
What's going on?
Glad to have you on the call. Normally we have like a guest speaker. We had Sean on Friday, which was great. We had like 125. So welcome. So Yadi, I actually wanted to call on you. I'm glad that you're on here. Yadi, if you guys don't know, has been the director of operations, pretty much running lifestyle on the back end. We've had a lot of great people too helping too, but mainly it's been Yadi for the last 3 years. But one of the things that I loved about Yadi's story, congratulations to Yadi. She got the 2022 Top Gun Award for production, and then 9 other agents from Lifestyle. Like it was crazy because they were there. I couldn't make it, but they were like, wow, there was 9 Lifestyle people that got the Top Gun Award. And that's 4.5 million above. We had all of our stars there, and that's not everybody even applied, but big shots to Yadi to get that, even with pregnancy. But one of the things, Yadi, I wanted to bring out here in your question was, and there's just a lot of newer agents in here, and when Yadi came, she might have sold 1 house a year. She came on board and started working 40 hours a week, but also started producing. How did Yadi, how were you able to like manage? So this is kind of geared to the people that are part-time, that want to go full-time. You're pretty much running Lifestyle and doing production. How were you able to do both? What would you suggest to anybody that's in that field that is in their part-time and they want to get into deep production, do enough production so they can leave their job, so they can produce like maybe you produce or others, to be able to supplement and do better and have a life and working in the real estate world? What would you suggest, Yadi?
So what works for me is, the niche that I had is that I work with George, so it's real estate, and then I have time for my real estate, right? So that kind of goes hand in hand. But going to the office definitely motivates you. Hearing other people talk about what they have motivates you. I would say I was really consistent with my social media. After baby, I've slowed down a little bit, which I'm getting on this call just because I need that push again. But social media is huge for me. 90% of sales for me was just off Instagram, or referrals. Of course, my referral business has picked up, but I would say Instagram, social media, consistency, it out of sight, out of mind, right? So if you don't post and you don't remind people constantly that you're in the business, you're in real estate, you can help them buy, sell, rent, invest, etc., they're going to forget about you, right? If they don't see your stories, if they don't see that you're a realtor, once they think about it, they're not going to think of you, if you're not in their face about it. I would just say be consistent, work-life balance, I was pregnant, so I felt like I had a reason to even go harder. And that was my best year yet. And then now after baby, I've slowed down, obviously, but I'm trying to get that push again. And I'm going to, going back to my Instagram, to the ways that it's worked before, I'm going back to it. But I mean, yeah, I think social media was huge for me.
I love it. And it goes with the quote. I didn't start off the quote because I'm doing it in my run because I'm like, man, I gotta get my 3 miles in. But there was like the quote I put today. I wanted to show you guys: consistency is more important than perfection. And I saw that Sean Friday when you talked about it. So many people that, because remember, I follow mostly everybody in the brokerage that follows me. I usually try to follow back. If I see it, sometimes there's a lot of follows and I didn't get it. So if I didn't follow, just let me know so I can follow back. Oh, what's up, my bro? What's going on, brother? So long story short, Sean, after you did it, I probably saw like 15 agents start putting Instagram stories and turn the camera. So you see, like, and maybe they got something like this. The beauty of these calls or community is that your video, your morning, you're taking 30 minutes from your morning might have sparked something that sparks the change for them to change their family's life. You affect their families, their kids, the people around them. So thank you, Sean, for that call. But I saw like 15 people. Go ahead.
George, I actually wanted to thank Sean for, yeah, it's Yuritsa speaking again, sorry. That call where you were talking about turning the camera, Sean, honestly, I felt like you were talking to me because that is completely me. I get shy, I get nervous. I'm like, no, I don't look pretty today. And who cares? Like, you were so right about that. I felt like you were really, I felt like he's talking to me, but you're right. You were so right about that.
That's awesome.
Yo, Sean, same thing, man. I was at an inspection Friday, and me, like, even George knows, like, I could talk a lot, bro. You know what I'm saying? So like, I just turned the camera and just said, all right, I got my inspection here, boom, 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 and then just start posting on YouTube. So like Yari said, like, it was just like, just do the damn thing. That's what it comes down to.
True.
Yeah. Hassan, we know you can talk a lot. So just saying that. But no, I was trying to see that spark you did, bro. And same here. Like I told you, this week I guarantee you I'm restarting my YouTube podcasting that I used to do. I'll probably do it like the first one in my movie theater. Not bragging, just I got a movie theater now. So I'm gonna do it in there. So it's kind of fun. I'll turn the chairs around, do a little podcast in there. So what else? Who else got some questions? Ask away. Gigi, what'd you say? Because a lot of people were on the call. Now we got 69 people. What's this week's task? Gigi, what are you challenging yourself? Not just doing the norm, your door knocking, your videos. What do you challenge yourself with this week?
It's pretty routine for me. So it's prospecting in the mornings, posting to my social medias. I have a few listing appointments, so it's to go to that. And then, I usually door knock 10 doors to the left and 10 doors to the right at whatever house it is that I am having that listing appointment at, and then just putting out some video content for YouTube Shorts, Reels, and TikTok.
Gigi, let me ask you though, because we have, one of the things I always tell people at the beginning, if you're a little nervous, go with somebody if you don't like, I'm not sure if you did, I think you did on your own. I know you're a little bit of a self-starter in that sense. You got, that's that way. if there's let's say a woman is chat or a male, but let's just say a woman, which is a little bit more intimidating. Sometimes you're like, oh my God, I'm walking around. What are some safety tips, or how do you overcome the fear? What would you suggest to any guy or girl, or I would say more girl in this sense, that is scared to do, and rightfully so, what would your tip to that person?
Well, it's not even guy or girl. It's more a sense of the reason we're not confident is because we don't know. And this is in every field. It's because we don't know. We don't know. And so before I was going on listing appointments, I would, YouTube University was my teacher, and I would look at all the coaches and I would look at all their listing presentations, and I would mix them up together to come up with a listing presentation that was represented me more than, and then so I created this, and then I would repeat it. I would recite it every morning in my car. I probably look like a crazy person, just talking over and over and over and over and over again, to the point now where I just get to the listing appointment and it's a script in its sense. Yeah, we go off on little tangents here and there, which makes it more fluid and less scripted, but I know what I'm going in. I know the components of the listing appointment like the back of my hand. And when you know that, and when you know the numbers in the area, average time on market for this specific price range on a scale from 1 to 10, what is the property considered? Like all these little things that, and once you know that, that's it. The confidence is there, and you're no longer nervous. You're not nervous about anything you talk about that you know about.
Gee, but that's but the key. Well, let's say it's. Do you have a certain set time that you go do your door knocking? What's your appearance?
So in the morning is strictly my prospecting and my
social
social media.
Give me the appearance.
So no, in the morning is
Okay.
prospecting and social, and then until like in the afternoon, it's all my follow-ups. And then I'm usually going to listing appointments on Mondays and Wednesdays between 3 and 6 o'clock, and on Tuesdays and Thursdays a little bit earlier between 1 and 4. So I used to like really bend over backwards to make these listing appointments, like if I had my son, I would like find a baby, but now I don't. And I found that I gain a little bit more respect not being so available. And it looks like I'm, really, really busy too. So it's more in the afternoon, which works out too, because a lot of people are working. And so that's when they get home. And then right after that, after I do that listing appointment, I'll door knock 10 doors to the left and 10 doors to the right.
Love it. All right. Are you putting door hangers as well?
No, I'm leaving a little business on the door knocking to the listing appointment. I'm leaving my business card like cracked in the door.
Don't forget the 10 doors across the
Love it.
street.
Thank you, Gigi. Dwayne,
yeah.
I see your hand.
Yeah, I had a
Chris
question.
Delgado in the building. Chris, right? There's Go ahead, Dwayne.
Yeah, buddy, I had a question. And I know it varies
Shoot.
for everyone.
Go ahead.
And maybe Gigi can speak to this as well, but is anyone finding more success having cold calls in the afternoons versus the morning? Can anyone speak to that?
So for me, I do video text for that same reason. So I don't do cold calls. I do video text. I just found I did cold calls in the beginning and they were great, but just, if I called at 8:30, that prospect needs to answer at 8:30 versus when I send a text message, they sometimes get back to me at their lunch hour. They sometimes get back to me when they get home. So for me, it's like evergreen in that sense. So since I started video texting, the client can get back to me at their own time. And it's less pushy. I spend less time having to call again, because if they didn't pick up at 8:30, I would move them to a folder where then I would call it at 11, 12, and 1. And it's not a waste of time. It's just not efficient for me. So I was like, let me send them a text message, and they have all day to respond while they're getting all these calls. I'm the one there sitting in their inbox for them to get back to me. And then if they don't get back to me, I will send them a follow-up video text the next day. And I do that for 5 days in a row for people that do not answer. And usually by 4, 5, I'll get a text back.
So can I jump in real quick, Gigi, and ask a question to follow up on that?
Yeah.
This is Sean. So are you saying that instead of you doing the cold calls, you're getting those same phone numbers and sending a video text instead? Is that right? Is that what I'm hearing?
Correct. So I use Vulcan
Wow.
7. I export all the contacts for the day of all the expired and FISBOs. that I am set to call. And then I import them into a, it's a program that'll splice the landlines from the mobiles. So all the landlines get removed and I'm left with the mobiles. And then I will send a video text to each mobile. And it's great because I just did my prospecting while we were on here. Like you didn't see me pick up the phone. I just sent all my video text messages. It's very streamlined now where I can, do multiple things at once. But yes, so that's what I'm doing. And
Gigi, two questions there you got. First off, for myself and Yadi, actually, because we have our like business development managers sending text messages, and we were getting complaints from AT&T that we were hitting landlines with text messages. What app do you use to separate the cell from the home lines?
I'm going to drop it in the chat now. It's free and there's plenty of them that are free. This is called phonevalidator.com. And it will, here, I'm dropping it in the chat now. Yeah, you will get, and that's why I use two lines. So I have my business line, which I do all my prospecting from, because even if you're sending out text messages to mobile numbers, remember, these are cold numbers. There are people that are going to mark you as spam. And if you get enough spam flags, whoever your carrier is, they'll block you from sending text messages. So what I do is I change my number every 30 days. And remember, this isn't my personal line, so it doesn't really matter. I change my number every 30 days. If I'm sending a video text and I'm communicating with a lead, I will transfer them to my personal line and I'll be like, hey, this is Gigi. I'm texting you from my personal line to better assist you. And then we'll go from there. And that way I'll convert them to my personal line and we keep communicating. So my second line, my business line, is strictly for business because you're going to get flagged. You're going to get calls back. You might get an attorney. I don't know. And so every 30 days, you just refresh that number.
Make sure, guys, not on the spam list, so make sure that you don't violate TCPA. But yeah, if you use an actual number to send text and it's manual one-on-one, you're good. But you can't use a bot that automatically. So make sure it's a one-by-one thing.
Yeah, and be careful with sending links.
Yeah, no links. Gigi, somebody asked, what is your first? What are the video messages you say? What is it exactly you're saying? Not exactly, but what's the content of your first and maybe your follow-up messages?
So this is changing every time. I keep refining this based on the objections I'm getting. So I first started out with what you'll find on Mike Ferry or Tom Ferry or Brandon Mulrin and all these coaches. They more or less say the same thing. And so I started doing that, and then I started refining it more for me. And it's more, good morning, this is Gigi. I am a realtor at Lifestyle International Realty. And I kind of, I'm kind of funny about it in a sense. I'm like, this is for off market, right? So expireds. As you already know, your home came off market and you probably have all the helicopters in Miami looking for you. And then, and so I keep going on there. I'm not sure if I'm the right fit for you and your needs, but I'd like to start by providing you with a different experience. And so that same text, because I text it and then I include the video. Not everyone watches the video. Not everyone reads the text. So if you send them both at the same time, you kind of like will. And so it's the same thing that I say in the video. I also text it. And, some people are at work and they can't listen to the video, right? So I say something like that. I'm a little funny about it. And then I have a series of up to 7 follow-up text messages if I do not get a response back. Now, if they reply stop, unsubscribe, or anything else that kind of insinuates that they don't want you contacting them anymore, I remove them from the list. And I know these rules are always changing with TSA and all of that, but the latest rules say that you can text back one more time. So, you get the text and it'll say, when you unsubscribe, you'll usually get an alert back saying, okay, you've officially been unsubscribed from. So that's that text back that you're allowed. But I don't even do that. So if they're like, stop, whatever, I'm really out to find the person that needs help. I'm not out to convince anyone to sell their home, especially now in this market, because it's going to be a waste of time for me. So that's my series. So it is manual, but it's not a lot. I use the Android app for my prospecting. My personal line is Apple. And the Android app, you can text from your computer. So you have a giant screen where you can just copy, paste, copy, paste, copy, paste, copy, paste. And I get my prospecting done when I was cold calling. it would took like 3-4 hours. Now I get it done in an hour and a half. And then my follow-ups are another
Gigi,
hour.
I'm gonna challenge you. I'm gonna challenge you. Everybody knows. Sorry, guys, if ever not Android, but everybody knows I have a thing against Android where I gauge and ask our top producers with, let's say, Facebook Marketplace, and I'll say, hey, what are your chances of success with, you know, Android or green text comparative to iPhone Plus? You look at statistics, they're always saying that an iPhone user, and again, not being biased here, but usually an iPhone iMessage user is usually a higher probability of success. And so now what I would suggest for you to use is get an Apple phone, and you could do the same messaging with iMessage to other people. But I find it that when I even do my WhatsApp, I use the Reach app. When you send it to an iMessage, I think you have a nicer, smooth entry when somebody sees iMessage. When I see green text, I'm usually like, oh, okay, what is this? So could you switch it to the iMessage and just change that number? Or is it because, you know, you get more, you're faster with the Android? Is there a personal preference? But I think you honestly would be more successful with using iMessage to send out messages. You know, most of the people that have Apple would like to see it in a blue message and feel, okay, this is a real person, not a machine.
Okay.
What are your thoughts on that?
So I experimented with this before I got first. Remember, I started with my own line and I made that mistake and I got blocked for 3 days and I almost died because I couldn't text out. This is my business line. No one could text in. So I'm like, okay, it needs to be a new number. I'm going to get another iPhone. And you know, the thing is that with iMessage, when you send out a text message, not only does it need to go through the carrier, it needs to go through the iMessage filter. Remember, you're sending out 200 text messages a day. Right now, I just sent out 11 to FSBOs. I sent out 29 to expireds, and all my follow-ups, that was another 90 text messages. I'm sending over 100 text messages, and iMessage has a limit. The carrier doesn't. iMessage has a limit. And if you're copy pasting that fast, it's going to stop you and you have to do it in chunks. You're going to have to do 30 in an hour and then 30 again in another hour and 30 again in another hour. And I agree. I think that blue messages are better, but right now I rather hit as many people as possible and try and be different in my video texting. And I hope that compensates for the fact that it's a green message and not a blue message. I'm hoping. We'll see.
Something that I've seen also work on me, and I'm that person that, like, to this day, guys, and just a reminder, I'm never going to ask you for a gift card. I probably get the scam text to the brokerage or the Instagram. That's why I verified myself, not because I wanted to seem famous or anything. I verified myself so I can stop these clone accounts. But I would say that I'm very good that to this day, I've never been phished. Never been, you know, identity theft. I think I had like 2 debit cards that have got copied maybe at like a gas station. But one of the things that I would say that works on me, where I do click the email and open the bomb or or they send it to what's worked with me on these you know, these VA assistants or whatever, they try to sell me stuff, is when they say, hey, George, in the video. Like in the video, they're actually saying the person's name. Are you referencing their name, or you're just using a broad, like, hey, how's it going? I know you just got an expired. Are you being specific in your message, or are you just doing a more broad that you could copy and paste that message to everybody?
So my video text is broad. I'm not going to be recording every morning. My text message that's texted, remember that I send the same thing I say in the video message. I also write it out in the text message. There in the written text, I'll put hi, whoever, hi, Laura, hi, Bob. And that's a simple copy paste also. So I'm personalizing the text, and then the video is generic. And I really try and make it in a way where I'm not fancy about it. It's a vertical screen because, you know, if you try and make it look too good, it doesn't seem personal. I literally sit at my desk and that's the video. So it looks like I am in front of my computer and you just popped up on my screen.
Gotcha. Okay. All right. Love it. Dwayne, I think you had another question.
No, I thought that was pretty good. I know
okay.
that yeah, that's pretty good for me, man. I think what was helpful knowing is that you know, she's using tons of video. I found that I've had some success in the afternoon talking to people, just getting more conversations, but that's just me personal. I just wanted to get some more feedback, but I thought it was pretty awesome that I can get that video connection as well. So thanks for that.
All right. Love it. I'd also reminder, guys, like whoever asks the next question, Thursday is our big event. We got one of our panelists in here, Sherry. I don't know if we got the other ones in here. Just want to get another Top Gun Award winner. So next Thursday, guys, I'm not, you know, sometimes on marketing when you have social media, we have like 175 or 200 seats. So ultimately I could say there's 25 seats left. I'm actually normally, if I was going to charge a fee for this, I wouldn't care and I would leave it at 200. But since I'm not charging a fee, I should have, because we're doing so much stuff. I mean, I'm doing like decorations. We're gonna have some spots. We're gonna do a happy hour component at the end of it. We got a lot of people from Jersey, hopefully North Carolina, South Carolina coming down. So I'll probably raise the seats to like 225, 250. And I hope that 250 come and is a stand-up room in this movie theater. But it's gonna be incredible this Thursday. So guys, if you need a boost and you want to talk to these people, want to be able to talk to Sherry, talked about her story. We have Dana flying in, one of the best moderators. I used to always be moderating this. And once I saw Dana, I gave up the crown and said, like, okay, you moderate all these things going on board. He's a beast with it. We got Miguel talking about he did 32 million in sales. He does his luxury flips. We have Julie from Julie's Realty, a beast, one of the biggest REO agents in Florida. She sold a lot of homes to lifestyle people or their clients. She's going to talk about how to be a boss woman in this industry. And my fourth guest, and I'm not going to announce it yet. I'm actually working on two big ones, and one of them will give me their decision today. And I hope everybody can attend. Any other questions we have from anybody? Let's see. Let me see what could call out to make sure. All right. Maria, no, that's it. I mean, if we don't got questions, we're hitting our 9 o'clock mark. Thank you, G, for dropping a lot of that knowledge. Sean coming on here. Guys, it's Monday. Make it count. You got work till you can't. This sets up the week. Usually good Mondays and good week starts on Sunday. But if you didn't start it on Sunday, make sure you make it count. Get off this call. Go write some 20 video messages and send them out to your own friends and family. Make it broad. Use the WhatsApp. Use the recaps. Send emails. So let's crush it. Love you guys. Let's kick some butt. Let's do it.
All right, thanks, George. You have a good day.
Thank you, George and Gigi.
Thank you, guys.